Okay guys, it's Hot Mess Sunday, but it's also What Would You Make collaboration, so perfect timing. I got 3 projects. Let's see what kind of trouble we could get into today. Hey guys, it's Sabrina with Sabrina's Craft-nanigans. Hop on this Hot Mess Express. No, it is not Hot Mess Sunday. It is the What Would You Make challenge with these beautiful lady hosts, Miss Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY. And Miss Christine with Divine Designs. And our special guest host this month is, drumroll please, Miss Joanna, my BFFE, with Joanna's DIY Life. Their channel links will be in my description box, and the playlist link to all the wonderful wood creators will be in my description box down below, and you can also see down here below their beautiful faces. Check my description box for the playlist link and their channel links. I've got 3 projects for you. It looks like I finished it up with 2, but hang in there. There's a 3rd project at the end where the moose makes a grand appearance, trying to be all cutesy. Kind of like you see the Beezy here. Guys, if you like what you're seeing, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're getting to 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited and be getting ready for a giveaway. Yes, ma'ams and sirs. You guys, I hope you have a good week. This technically is Hot Mess Sunday because it is Sunday, I guess. But luckily, the What Would You Make collaboration is here. Hope you all enjoy. Get that description box. Click those links. I hope you guys have a good week. I love every one of you. The boys say hello as well. Bye, y'all. Love you. Mwah. Here comes DIY number 1, a remake. This is a little riser that I made a while back. That is the thumbnail if you want to go back and check. I made this little heart riser thing. Turned out I really wasn't thrilled with the way the crackle came out and how well it looked. So I sanded that whole thing down, but not the bottom. I just wanted to get all that mess off the top. I'm going to use that same color pretty green that I did when I did the magazine rack and the thrift flip with Joanna about 2 months ago. I think Magic Kitty's going to come up here, presto poof, and there we go. We got it painted. There's that beautiful green. You know you like that pretty greenish bluish. I know I'm in love with it. Don't ask me how I did it. I can't tell you. It's a bunch of different colors of greens and some blues. Okay, so I got the 1 coat on and I smear it around, and the 2nd coat I take my pouncer and I dab it because I don't like the streak. So Magic Kitty pops in again and boom, we got 2 coats on it ready to go. I have some fine, I think it was like 400 grit sandpaper just to smooth it off a little bit because I've seen some other people do that and thought that was a good idea. And of course, every time I sand, I wipe it down. Now, I've got some heavier grit sandpaper and I'm sanding off the edges, getting down to whether it was white or that bare wood, like you can see right there. And we're going to zoom through this a little bit. No Magic Kitty this time. I'm just going to cut some of this out because you don't want to sit here forever and watch this. You know me, Hot Mess Express coming through. And so you can see how I kind of, got some of that off of there and kind of distressed it a little bit by sanding some of that paint off. We're going to make sure she is all wiped down and ready to go. I'm already loving her. Yes, I am. You guys are going to have to let me know if you're loving her with the white distressing, or I'm going to hit it with the antique wax later. You need to let me know if you like that better. So the brown or the white, you guys are going to have to let me know. See, I got both of them there. I was undecided. I'm first going to take the white Waverly wax paper towel, and I'm just going to slop some on there, and I'm going to rub it around and smear it around and wipe it around, and I do the top, the sides, the bottom, and I really make sure that I go around the cubes on the bottom. The heart was not technically thrifted, but from my friend Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. And the cubes on the bottom were from Dollar Tree. But go back and watch that video that I showed you at the beginning. I'll try to link the links in the description box down below, entire playlist, but I'll put these video links in there too for quicker access to the video on how I first made this, put this together. Very simple, very easy. All right, so now that I've got the white wax on, I've got these IOD transfers that my beautiful friend Heather at Spindle Mountain Mercantile. Y'all make sure you go check her channel out. She'll be down in my description box as well. She is amazing with thrift flips and IOD transfers and DIY paints, and I have watched her, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. Heather, help me. Okay, so I don't have one of the actual sticks because she sent me these transfers, but I didn't have a stick with it. So you'll see me go through that little white plaster stick over there, and then I've got one of these big popsicle sticks, and later on you'll see me use my scissors. I slowed this down a little bit. You kind of press it all on, and then you just pull up a corner, and while you're pulling it up, you're pushing down, and okay? And then once you get it off, you burnish it. I'm not going to show you a lot of this because I don't do it right, obviously, because I am on the big struggle bus. Look, there, like the lines that are on the transfer sheet, I end up scraping on my paint, and I got to get it off. So I get a wipey and I try to rub them off. I'll get my sander and try to get it off. It does finally come off, but this is the struggle bus I'm on, people. I got a struggle bus or I got a train. Pick one. I got a Hot Mess Express or the struggle bus. Magic Kitty here again. I won't put you through the process of me on the struggle bus again. So here's now my little stool with some transfers. I'm just kind of tidying it up, getting those black marks off that were on there, and some smudges and some smears and some scrapes I didn't like, and that kind of helped a little bit. So here it is with just the white wax. Now, once you get your transfers on, you got to seal it again. So now I'm going to seal it with the antique wax. Both of these waxes were by Waverly, the white and now the antique. I'm going to take just my, stippling brush here, Dollar Tree brush, and I'm going to go around and around and around, and I'm going to cover the top, the bottom, the sides, the little feetsies, the whole shebang, okay? And then once I get it covered, and then I'm going to take a paper towel, and I'm going to just rub away on this, and there we go. Now, there were some spots it was too much, or some spots that didn't get enough. So I'm going to go back with it again, and you keep doing this process until you get as much on as you want. Now, this time I went in like little circular motions instead of just swiping it back and forth, because I remember Heather doing that. And that made it look a little bit better. And now I'm kind of rubbing my edges off right there, and then I'm going in a circular motion to kind of rub it in real good and get it all off, giving it that antique vintagey look. Hopefully that's what I was going for. And I kind of go back and forth with this a lot. Like there was some stripes of brown in there. I didn't like that. And so I went back, and you could see how I sanded it with the sander. You saw some of the picture taken off. So I have a paper towel with a lot of the wax still on it, and more of a drier one. And now instead of wiping, I'm kind of just dabbing. So whatever works for you, rubbing, dabbing, more, less, nothing at all, keep the white wax, whatever floats your goats. I love this. Think it's beautiful. Here's DIY number 2. We remember this beauty, right? This was in Hot Mess Thrift Flip. Boop, boop. I'll leave that link in the description box if you did not see me redo this baby right here. Here's how this magazine rack started. You're going to get a quick run through right here. But if you want to watch the whole thing, check out that link. But here is where we started, and here's where we're going. I was proud of this. This is when the paint first came out, and I mixed it together. This is the first thing I painted and fell in love with this color. But she needed a second coat because I had gotten in a hurry, and I didn't get a chance to put a second coat on her. So that was me putting a second coat on. Now I'm going to take a rougher grit sand paper to get down to that white base layer that I painted, if you go back to that video that I showed you a little bit ago. And then also it went down, the original was a brown, the old-fashioned wooden brown color. So I got it all the way down to there in a lot of places. I even did the spindles a little bit. See, you can see all of that I sanded off down there. Magic Kitty came about. Woo, wore me out. Trying to get all between them spindles and down at the bottom. Woo, baby. Okay, so we're going to go through the same process. I wiped all that down, cleaned all my mess up. Going back to our white wax by Waverly. I'm going to get in the bottom. Going to get in between the spindles, on the spindles. Magic Kitty should pop up here in just a second. There she is. Presto, poof. We got all our white wax on. And now I'm going to take my towel, and I'm going to start. And this is a microfiber towel that I keep getting all this wax off with. And we're going to wipe it all down. I'm going to just kind of grab the spindles, and I kind of grab the spindles real good to get all that wax off there too. And there she is. Okay, so she's been white waxed. She's been sealed. Now I can put my transfers on again. And I debated, I've got lots of different flowers and bugs that Heather the Great sent me, but I decided with this color, these pretty red roses would look real pretty. So not really my thing, but I love the color, and the red roses I thought looked really good with this. So I'm kind of deciding how I want to place this on the sides, because this is really going to be the only place that I'm going to put these transfers are on the ends, because the sides are, the front and the back is skinny. I will put some words on the top on both sides of the handle. Now you also notice that on the sides there's the little knobs that hold it all together and make it pretty where it was screwed in. So here I am using a different, like, you know, spatula you would use to do some clay work or something. And this seemed to work. The bigger the picture of transfer, the better, and the better, easier time I have. But the smaller it is, like when I get down to the stems and such, struggle buzz, whoop whoop, here we go. Okay. So, but if it's big picture, the roses came off like a breeze. Look at that. And I'm having to cut it and snip it a little bit to kind of get around the little knobs right there that cover the screws that hold it together. But I just left this in, but this is like full blast speed right here. But I left this in. Could you imagine had I slowed this down to regular time? Do you know how long this took me? Oh my Lanta. I want to do this so bad, and I struggle every time. Look, there are my stems that popped off. I'm trying to get this long stem on, but it keeps wiggling, keeps coming loose. You see all the cracks in my stems. So now I'm trying to take some extra pieces, some extra leaves and stuff, and I'm trying to cover some weird marks that where it fell apart. And yeah, and it struggle bus. That's all I got to say. Hot Mess Express, struggle bus, struggle buses, and trains. That's, yeah, nothing but modes of transportation here, people. Hop aboard, get ready, buckle up. That's all I got to say. Okay, so I did both ends. There you go. See, added some more extra flowers. The only other transfers I did were the words on the handle at the top on both sides. But that was it, and I was done, because, yeah, anyway. Okay, so now we're going to seal it with our antique wax, just like we did the little stool over there. So I'm not going to put you through all this misery, but I make sure that I get all in between the spindles and all this stuff. This magazine rack is awesome. Let me know if you liked it better with just the white wax, or do you like these better with the antique wax? And here on the pictures I showed you, I swirl it around again instead of just swiping it, and then I'll just take my microfiber cloth and we will swirly and wipe this all down to get all the cracks and the grooves and around the little knobs there. Give it that old antique vintage type look, like it's old. And I did sand those transfers down as well to kind of scrape them up a little bit like I did on the stool. So there she is with the brown antique wax. So do you like them better with just the white, or do you like them better with the brown antique added? Let me know down in the comments. Here are my two beautiful pieces now. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Not me, but they are beautiful. I would have rather stuck with the white wax. Yep, I can't talk, I promise. Don't go away, people. Don't go away. Those two kind of went together and were kind of a makeover finish. But I got one more little cute project for you, and the Moosie's going to make a grand appearance here. Are you guys ready? Buckle up. Here's DIY number 3. So, it's my daughter's birthday on the 13th. I made this for her and her sweetie heart. They just bought their first, well, didn't buy, they're renting their first apartment together. Their babies grow so fast. I'm going to make them a cute little key holder or a change holder or whatever. So all these keys and these metal coins and Moose is in the way and, you know, all that stuff. This was all in my stash. You know, the little wooden boxes come from Dollar Tree. The mermaid house come from Dollar Tree. Got that scrapbook paper. I'm going to get that all cleaned off. Decided, nope, I'm tired of cleaning that paper off. If y'all saw the tree fiasco a couple weeks ago, I'm just going to trace around that, and we're going to glue and Mod Podge this paper to the front of the house so we don't got to worry about all that paper mess. And then I will just paint the back of it. I'm using the iron-on method here. Mod Podge it, let it dry. Another Mod Podge, oh, not another Mod Podge layer. Once it's dry, you put the wax paper on, and then you'll roll with it and iron it on, then put another layer on. And there she is. Boom, ready to go. Now we're going to take our box and 2 popsicle sticks because I broke the roof on the top because it had nails in it. And I'm going to paint all of that black, okay? Except for that back side of the crate because that's where the glue is going to go, okay? And then I'll paint that back and the sides here in a little bit since I put the paper on the front instead of on the back. Here's my 2 popsicle sticks. Didn't put a whole lot on the back because we're going to make them stick. Guys, here was my first time at mitering something at a 45-degree angle with my snippers. I was so proud of myself. I've got to say, I was pretty darn proud. Yes, I was. I've used those to snip pieces of wood, but never did an angle thing. I was very proud of myself. There's just a little bitty crack, but we cover that up later. You can see here with a pencil, I'm kind of setting them on top of each other to draw kind of like the line at the point. I don't know if you had to do this or not, or if all I had to do was put it at the 45-degree angle and cut it where I wanted it, but that's where I did it. I probably had an extra step in there, but you know what? First time, and look, I flipped it to do the others. I did it right. I didn't cut them the same angle the same way. So lucky me, right? Right. Okay, hot mess. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so I got those. I'm pretty happy with them. We're good. I'm going to get you out of the thing there so you can't see nothing. All right, going to put those up so I don't hurt myself. I'm going to use a little bit of this great wood glue at the Dollar Tree. Gosh, this stuff is amazing. And just a little bit of hot glue, and I glued the box and the 2 popsicle sticks on. Now, my key here, that was just in my stash. Thank you, Shelly. And I'm going to take that same paper, and I kind of used my fingernail to press inside so I could see where the circle was and then cut it out. And then I'll Mod Podge that on. I'll just use my finger here because it's just a little bitty piece. And I'll stick that in there. And I'll push that down pretty good using kind of my fingernail to get in the corners there once it's on. And then I'll Mod Podge it one more time with matte. I use like the glossy to stick it down because I don't like glossy. But then to cover it and seal it, I use matte. I don't like things bright and shiny. Anywho, so we got that covered. That's set, ready to go. On this key later, you will see that there are the numbers 307, and that's their apartment number. And I just used some stickers that I got from Hobby Lobby that I had in my stash. Pretty much everything is in my stash, guys. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here I'm taking my black, and I'm painting the sides and the back since we decided, nope, I'm putting the paper on the front, not the back, and there we go. So she's all together already. I'm going to seal her here in a little bit. This is some outdoor Mod Podge. It's pretty thick. I don't know if it's supposed to be that thick, but that's what I used. I figured it'd hold up pretty good. These hearts obviously came from Dollar Tree at Valentine's Day. We're going to take that beautiful paint I made that you saw at the beginning. If you want to know how that paint got made, you got to go see when I started the magazine rack. Check that link out because there's no way you will ever make this again. There's no way I will ever make this paint again. It's such a combination. Anywho, took a sponge brush and just painted the top of that with about 2 little layers, dabbing it on. Taking my sander, getting all the bumpy lumpies off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Snow White by Waverly and a fan brush. And I'm going to kind of just distress the sides and kind of go across the top of it just a little bit. So you can see I wiped it off on the wipey, and then I'll just go around. And then I'll kind of over the top of it. I love using a fan brush to distress and making that jagged look. Anywho, here's a word home. That came from the Dollar Tree. It was in my stash. We're going to use our same beautiful, amazing color there. That's why I put this third DIY in here with the first 2 because I'm using that same beautiful, amazing color. So I painted that. I just tried to stay on the front, not get on the edges. You'll notice these 2 little coins. This was like some Tim Holtz stuff or something that my friend Shelly gave to me. One of them has an M. My daughter's name's Maddie. The other one has a K because her hubby's name is Caden. So I'm just taking some string here, making a lark's head knot to put through. There was holes in the top of those coins. And I also did it with the key. And that was just some twine that came from Dollar Tree. Here we got a bunch of ribbon. I got a blue that matches that bluish green, and I got some other ribbon and some burlap. Some of it came from Hobby Lobby, lots from Dollar Tree, some from Michael's. You just never know. We're going to make a bow with that here in just a second. But before we do, I'm going to glue that heart there on the front. I'm then going to take all 3 of my trinkets here, the key and their M and their K, And I'm going to kind of knot that together, and I'm going to dangle it on the front. Yes, it's all going to hang kind of on top of each other, but that's okay. If you spread it out, you can see what's going on, okay? You can see the 307 right there. That's their apartment number. I'm just going to glue that up there at the top, but you can see even though they might be on top of each other, they'll hang on different lengths. One's higher than another, all that good stuff. Okay, we're just going to make a raggedy ribbon here because I'm also trying to make this feminine but manly because it's for Kaden and Buddy. I just took strips of those ribbon, one of each, and crisscrossed them. Then used some jute twine to cut them. I got little paw print ribbon because they have two fur babies. They have a Forest, who's a big orange tabby, and they have Gypsy, who is a beautiful gray pitty. Oh my goodness, she's beautiful. Moose is going to help me out. Okay, so, and then once I get that bow together, Moose, yeah, just wait a second here. Yeah, Y'all see this? Can y'all see this? This is my workspace. Somebody's in my workspace. Somebody's in my workspace. What do I do? What do I do? What you do, love the moosey? There you go, my moosey lovers. He's helping us out. So anyway, so I'm trying to get the bow glued at the top up there on top of the keys and stuff. Then I decided, okay, it needed more. So I ripped off the keys and the trinkets and the bow. And I decided it needed a little bit of greenery, but I probably could have left it on and stuck it on, but I didn't want to do that. So I got little pieces of lamb's ear here, and then a couple other little greeny pieces that I do kind of stick in between the strips of the ribbon and the bow. So I'm putting the lamb's ear on, just hot gluing that on. I'm going to glue at least the bow and the key trinkets that all kind of stuck together, so that worked to my favor. I'll just glue that back on top of the greenery lamb's ear right there. Again, all in my stash. Absolutely nothing was bought. Nothing. I'm going to make sure this is fanned out a little bit so that it's all nice and cute. I picked colors that match. Now I got some other little greenery sprigs here. I think it's that, what is it, box leaf or some, whatever. I don't even know. I ain't even going to go there because a hot mess. I don't even know. I just kind of put some glue on the tips and kind of stick it in between some of the strips of ribbon there. And now I feel better. I got some greenery with it. I'm liking it. I like it a lot. But there's still, you know me, I can't, nothing's ever enough. I need one more thing. Oh, so I had, those things that you can get at the Dollar Tree, succulents. So I got a little succulent that was the same colors and glued it right there in the middle. So here you can see I just displayed it with some other Dollar Tree succulents that I had. And I just set them in the box. But this box, she could put flowers in it if she wants. Or she can take it and she can put change in it. They can put their keys in it, which I'll show you a picture here in just a second. But you can see there's their number 307. And the coins have like an M and a K on it. That's their initials. So here it is with the succulents. If she wants to put flowers in it, there you go. We can take it and leave it empty, put change in it, whatever. Notice I got it sitting on my riser there. I threw my keys in it. There's our little riser. There's the little family that was with the riser in that video. So if you check that out, and then there's our magazine rack. I hope you guys enjoyed these three. Go check out that description box. I love you guys. Have a great week.